This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Jack Threads. Coming up, we get a special hands-on preview of the upcoming game, Skyrim.
Hey, I'm here with Xav de Matos from Shack News, one of my partners in crime on the We Can Confirm podcast, and the two of us had an opportunity to get 3 hours,
glorious hours,
almost unsupervised, of hands-on time with Skyrim, Bethesda's new big upcoming open-world, massive role-playing game.
Life-ending.
Yes,
relationship ending.
That's the thing that the biggest thing I learned from 3 hours with that game is 3 hours with that game is nothing.
No. In fact, we were both begging for more time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought the cool thing would be to talk about our experiences because we were sitting next to each other and we both decided to go in opposite directions from where we started.
Different characters, different complete. You went, I think, the same area that I was at PAX.
Yeah.
Because they showed off the same build at PAX.
Well, then I went just into the crazy corner of the map just to see how far I could go.
I looked at your screen at one point and I saw stuff that I had never, because I played now at all these press events about 6 hours worth of the game.
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen what you saw.
Yeah.
It's one of those really epic games. When I played it, I decided to go off. You kind of get outside of a dungeon. You start about 45 minutes after the game starts. They didn't show us the very beginning of it. And I ended up leaving this cave and going upwards around a mountain to a town that was on the world map, the furthest point on the world map. I said, I want to see if I can get there in these 3 hours. And for the first hour and a half, I didn't actually talk to a single person throughout the entire game. And I had, I saw a couple of bandits and I grabbed some weapons off bandits and I got into some fisticuffs with some people because I didn't have any weapons at one point. And it was. And you
were the lizard guy.
I was a lizard guy because I thought that I was going to do a lot of underwater stuff because exploring, there's a lot of little islands throughout the world, but I ended up going, if you go up north, it's all snow covered.
Yeah,
so that's
where I went.
Yeah, so it didn't really work out for me at all in that sense, but I got to see some vampire stuff. There was a cavern that I saw with this entire storyline thread of these vampires who are taking over a little town in the area. And I sort of went exploring through there, and at one point I stole a horse, to which you asked if I
where'd you get that horse?
It's like,
I was hoofing it.
Yeah, exactly. I grabbed the horse, and then after I got off the horse at one point, and then it ran away, and I was just like stuck in the middle of nowhere with no horse, and it was awesome. You went in a totally different direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to consult my notes. I first just went into a mine, killed a bandit. The thing that was cool I noticed right away in the mine, which is some random dungeon as there are many of, is the physics-based traps from Oblivion are back.
Yeah.
Ran into a couple of those. And even before that, the game is gorgeous.
Yes.
I think it looks better than any time I've played it. I know Alex and Dan had mentioned that they didn't think it looked very good when we played it in previous incarnations.
Right.
I think that it looks better than I've ever seen it.
It did look better than when it was at PAX. So this was sort of a near final build. It wasn't,
and we were on 360s.
And we were on 360s. They weren't showing it on any other platform. And it does look really good.
Oh my god, beautiful. And anyway, so I'm in this mine. Awesome ambient noise. I kill a guy stealthily, and then I go a little farther in through, and I take his key, and I unlock a door, and I go a little farther in, and I overhear these guys go, "Did you hear that? Yeah. I thought we posted a guard at the door. We did." I was like, that is awesome, because I took out that guard at the door. One of the cool things that I noticed right away is how elegant the inventory management system is.
I love the menu system in the game.
It's beautiful. It's kind of the Blades thing from the old Xbox Live interface from right when the 360 launched. And small things like when you loot a corpse, not only does it bring up, or loot anything, not only does it bring up what's in there, but it has your inventory right below it, so you can, when you pick something up and you can automatically equip it, and it's just very slick and quick, and you don't spend your whole life in menus.
Also, if you get to sort of a box that you become over encumbered with a bunch of stuff, you can actually, in the same menu, when you're trying to loot a box, just put your stuff inside that box.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to a separate menu or exit out and come back in.
And when you walk up to any box or container that's empty, it'll tell you it's empty without you having to open it.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Which I think is something that kind of carried over from Fallout. They did that as well. I almost joined the Thieves Guild when I was playing. I got to the very end. I got to that town very far away, about 2 hours and 45 minutes into our demo, and they were hovering over us, waiting for us to get to that 3-hour mark so we can get out of there.
I know.
And I got so close to joining the Thieves Guild, and the way that it does it, it's not so in your face as the guilds were in Oblivion. In Oblivion, it was like, okay, this is the Thieves Guild, this is where they hang out. In this town, it's sort of, you have to actually go through a bunch of trials to even get to where they hang out, which is underground, in the sewer, in a hidden bar, and you have to do all these little quests for them. Awesome stuff.
I loved all the ambient things that really don't have anything to do with major quests. They're just, it feels, this game already, in the 3 hours I played, it feels more like a living, breathing world than any video game I've ever played, including other Bethesda games. And I at one point ran across some Imperial soldiers taking a prisoner down the road to another town, and I walk up and I go over to the prisoner, and the context-sensitive menu thing comes up, says "free prisoner," and it also allowed me to not only free the prisoner but also hand him some of the items in my, so I can like go, here dude, take this sword, we're gonna fight these guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which I did, and he turned and started fighting, and I fought the Imperial soldiers, and just this random thing that happened.
Yeah.
It's these like immersive stories that just happen to you. You know?
Yeah, and one thing that I love about it too is just to build around the world. There's a lot of books that you can read. You can pick up these books and actually read volumes of texts. I mean, there was a whole area where I found a library, and they had like 4 or 5 volumes of a certain book, and then later on when I went into the town near it, I found the other volumes of those books, and there are real pages, there are real books that you can go and read, and it talks about Morrowind, and it talks about other areas throughout the entire universe.
So awesome.
It's really cool.
Another moment that happened for me was I decided that I went into a tavern, and I went up to the tavern guy, and he said, I said, you know, I'm interested in learning about magic, and he's like, well, you should probably go to the College of Magic. It's really far away, and I was like, that's it. That's what I'm doing in my 3 hours.
Harry Potter moment there.
I got to the College of Magic, but on the way, I ran across giant mammoths, like woolly mammoths with huge tusks.
Yeah, I looked over.
There's like 5 or 6 of them, and they were being carted along by a giant. It was like a shepherd and his flock, but it was mammoths and a giant. And I was like, awesome, maybe I can go talk to that giant. So I go lumbering up to the giant, like, hey, giant. And he turns, and he takes his club, and he smashes me, and I was instantly dead, one shot.
Yeah.
So it seems to me that it's not all the level scaling that they did in Oblivion, where no matter where you went, it was for your level. Like, you can run into stuff that's just way more powered than you are.
That happened to me because I got into a cavern that had a bunch of vampires, and the last sort of area I needed to get into a chest and take some items out to finish a quest. And one of the vampires in there was a master class vampire, and as much as I tried to kill him, I spent 30 minutes. It must have been. And I spent 30 minutes trying to kill him, and at the end of it, I couldn't get it done. So I just got this potion of like swift footness, and like ran in and grabbed the items out of the chest and ran out, and they were all chasing me, and I just like, that's when I got onto the horse and like rode away.
It's absolutely incredible.
It was so good.
All the discussions, you know, one of the other big complaints from Oblivion and Fallout is that when you start to talk to someone, it like zooms in on their face uncomfortably and it looks strange. They've taken that out. Now you sort of just, normally they will turn and look at wherever you are, and some people are in different postures. I was talking to a king in one of the towns, and he was sort of sitting in his throne like this, you know, talking to me like this. I talked to a jester at one point that had a broken wagon wheel on the road, and he was dancing as he talked. But it didn't look silly. It you know, it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot of those things.
It's more natural.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that they wanted to make sure that people sort of had problems with how Oblivion and even Fallout did the same sort of thing, where it just sort of makes everything a little awkward. Because when they shift the camera that way, sometimes if someone kind of gets in your way, all of a sudden you have sort of a character standing in the middle of this like interaction you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, but it looks better, and I'm super excited for it.
Me too, man. It really, if this was the only game coming out this year, I would be happy. I am going to lose myself in it. It is exactly the reason I play video games, is for these kinds of games, and so few people make them. These totally immersive, real worlds where I can craft my own story, and there's tons of stories to encounter, but it's also, you're like, we both went in opposite directions and had different stories that happened to us, and I may never have encountered the kinds of people and dealt with the things in the way you did. I mean, we didn't even talk about the combat system, which is so elegant and awesome.
I love it, and also the sort of like execution moves that you see where it pans out and you see some vicious stuff. It just, that stuff, all of those things that I put together, they took Oblivion, they took all the complaints people had, I think, and they really tried to refine it and make it into something that I think a lot more people are going to really enjoy.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining me.
Thank
Punch
you.
it out.
Hey everybody, be sure to stick around for our Twitter questions all this week. But first we want to thank our sponsors, Jeff Cannata.
Do you like alternative apparel brands like Kid Robot, Hurley, and Stussy?
I do.
Have you paid full price for those?
Many times.
You're a sucker!
Damn it!
Sucker, sucker, sucker.
Keeps getting you.
You know why?
Why can't we change positions?
I know.
So we can suck up on you?
Suckers pay full price.
That's what I've heard.
Suckers.
Yep.
Suckers!
Okay. God, he hates
I
suckers
hate
so-
suckers so much.
That's why he doesn't watch True Blood.
I can't handle suckers.
They're such dum-dums.
Don't be a sucker. Don't be a sucker. Don't product place another company during this. Don't be a sucker. Because you can get all those cool brands I just spoke about for up to 80% off every single day.
What? Where can I score this?
Well, it's an invite-only club.
Well, I'm
it's
out.
invite-only, and no invitation for you because no invitation to suckers.
But what if I want?
Dan, if you want in.
Wait, what?
Well, I watched Totally Rad Show,
And he's a sucker.
so I believe that scores me a membership.
You believe correctly. You must have heard this before.
No.
If you watch our show, you can hop to the front of the line. Up to the front of the line.
Damn, he just stole your shit right there.
It's on loan.
Sucker! You jump to the front of the line by using our promo code. You'll
what's
get
that?
all these cool like street skate, surfwear brands at prices that I've heard, little birdie told me, will actually melt your brain. That's how low the prices are.
You see all this scenery here, guys? Jeff's got a little bit of it caught in his teeth right now.
Chewing it. Go to jackthreads.com/TRS. That will get you to the front of the line. There's a waiting list right now. You get to the front of that line.
It's infective, isn't
You
it?
go now and you'll get literally you get an
Infective. It
email
means it's
every
infectious
single
and
day with
infective.
cool brands and you get super discounts, dude. So do it. jackthreads.com/TRS.
Amazing. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Stick around for some Twitter questions.
I love this background. This background might be the coolest background
Yeah.
ever. Put
Get
your
yours-
background on our show by
Get
sending it to
yourself
fans at
Skyrim.
Totally Rad Show.
And totally dancing.
Join us tomorrow for our review of the movie Footloose.
Today's Twitter question comes from @RealCullenP.
Oh, we're doing this one.
If your co-hosts were Magic the Gathering creatures or spells, what would they do?
I love this question.
Alex
Yes.
would clearly be a ranger,
Oh.
and he would say witty, cutting remarks.
You mean a bard?
From afar.
A bard.
Oh, I thought we were doing like actual magic rules.
They
Like,
can be.
I was gonna say like you'd have to sacrifice you to the graveyard, which would create 2 or 3 2/2 creatures onto the battlefield that would just do your bidding for you, and you'd be safely away in the graveyard, resting.
I would. You know what you'd be doing?
What would I be
Something
doing?
similar. You would have to sacrifice your entire hand because you are always losing your shit anywhere. you always leave your
You
shit
make it
behind.
sound like I'm going crazy.
No.
No,
You lose
leaving
your
stuff,
stuff.
That's my wallet.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
turn your cards upside down and then pick only 3 back up and put the other one to the side and pretend like it doesn't exist.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I think very
Magic the
apropos
Gathering. Very
characters for us.
I wish we were Magic the Gathering characters.